second of every day. Material energy is like, trying to just, go ahead, lose your temper. Go ahead, get upset. Go ahead, become enticed by it. Go ahead, do this. Go ahead, come on. And we're like, and you can feel it sometimes. You really feel it. So you're like, what is it, like white knuckling, you know? You're like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to lose it any minute. You know, it's like provoking, constantly provoking. The material energy is constantly trying to provoke us to act how? In a material mindset. But one who is spiritually situated, accepting that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it can't be distracted. Why? Because I already understand who I am. I already understand who Krishna is. I'm already self-satisfied. You know, I just want to serve Krishna more and more. So whatever the provocation, it's not affecting me. It doesn't mean the provocation stops. Does that make sense? Some people think that, because you become a devotee, you start chanting Hare Krishna, then I shouldn't have any more problems. Sorry, anyone here who thought that? Anyone at home who thought you're not going to have any more problems? No. So, in fact, it means that the problems are there, and you should be able to see them more clearly. And you should be able to understand them for what they really are. Simply the material energy trying to provoke me. And what is the solution? The three modes of material nature. You know, this material energy is Krishna's divine energy, and it's trying to always pull us, tug us, cover us over. But one who takes shelter of Krishna, then one can easily cross beyond it. And the example was given like the water in the calf's hoof print. We can just step right over it. So a man's greatness can be determined by his ability to tolerate provoking circumstances. Now, a very important word is used here. Tolerate. How many people here sometimes really feel like they're tolerating things? Anyone? Like, I'm really tolerating. Like, I was with one devotee not so long ago. They were explaining a difficult situation that they were having with someone else. And they said, kind of like, I've been tolerating this person for the last year and a half. And my immediate thought is, probably you're not actually tolerating. Maybe we should rewind. Tolerance doesn't mean holding, right? Suppressing, putting it down inside. Real tolerance comes from assimilation of the situation and understanding that it's happening. Tattenu kampam susamikshimano, right? This is real tolerance. This is what Lord Brahma says in his prayers to Krishna after this incident. He says, Tattenu kampam susamikshimano, that actually one who accepts things that are coming to him as his own karma, his own just reward, his own just desert. See, the thing is, as soon as you start speaking these words and they flow like waves across the false ego, the mind starts to say, what about this? What about that? There are certainly times where this is not the absolute truth. Right? There are certainly times when I get something that isn't my karma. Anyone's mind is kind of starting to say that as soon as you hear these words, they're like, yeah. Right? Because it's difficult to accept that maybe I've done something to cause this. Maybe it's coming to me because I deserve it. The other day we had this university group visit, and there's one YouTube video that we've lifted that's called Karma Ghost. Anyone seen that, Karma Ghost? It's very hilarious, actually. And there's this man, he's driving the car, it's all a cartoon. And he drives up, and he's just like, he drives up and he tries to get out of his car, and there's a car parked next to him, so he's like trying to get out, slamming the car door. Then he steps on a bug, then he kicks a dog, then he throws rubbish on the floor. And every time he does one of these karmic actions, karma means action, so every time he does one of these actions, this little ghost thing comes up and puts on a shirt that says like, vandal or animal killer or something like that, and then it jumps on his back and it's going around with him. time he goes up to this machine to get a drink out of it, and one of the little goats jumps off into the machine, and as soon as he puts his coin in, the little goat pushes his coin off to the side so it doesn't actually go all the way into the machine. So he starts pushing the button. He's like, why isn't it coming out? And he starts kicking the machine. But if you think about it, it's because he's done something, so he's getting his payment back. But we don't often see it like that. We think the stupid machine. We always want to point the finger and blame the external instead of, like Prabhupada said, when you point the finger, what should you really look at? The fact that there's 3 little fingers pointing back at you, and depending on how you hold your thumb, almost 4. So like that, it's, it's coming back at you. So like this, it's very difficult to accept these things. But a man's greatness can be determined by his ability to tolerate. And tolerance doesn't mean to suppress. It doesn't mean to just push down or even like, it means that we have to be able to assimilate what is actually happening and resolve it within our own mind and actually be okay with it. Does that make sense? Not that I'm tolerating, but I've understood. This has come to me for some reason. Maybe I don't even understand the exact reason. My dear Krishna, you please reveal to me if need be somehow. But just help me to just be okay with this and allow me to learn the lesson that I need to learn here. Allow me to grow in the way that is required for me to grow so that I can come closer to you. Because I understand all of these obstacles are simply obstacles for me on the path of coming back to you. So please let me traverse these obstacles in the way that you want so that I can get closer to you. I know that I laid all the obstacles. I put them all there myself. They're the things that are preventing me from getting to you. Please help me to overcome them. And then you see like that, so whoever's staring you in the face no longer becomes the enemy, but just simply becomes the kind of delivery, the postman of your own karma. So what's that saying? Don't shoot the messenger. So like that, we should just try to accept. I'll stop here. I was going to stop earlier and say a few words about Dr. Adam, but I didn't make it for the talk, so I'll say a little something, but at the end. Anyone have any comments, questions, or corrections? Okay, we're done with that for you first, and then on to the time for you. Yes, please correct me, chastise me.
Very nice, this is a practical life, Very good. So if you explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Mike is good. Mike, you're on the mic. You need to turn it on, I think.
No, let me. On.
Oh, so it's not on over there. Is definitely on?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gauranga.
Okay, it's turned all the way on.